All right. Anyway, fam, that's what I got for y'all. Listen, y'all got any questions? Please feel free to throw them in the chat. I wasn't gonna do a long show today. I'm go over a few comments from you guys and then skedaddle. All right, big ups to you guys. What's up, brother Hakeem? Shout out to my brother Hakeem. He says, gotta keep running the ball. The O line the last 2 weeks looking like they're a cohesive unit. Rattler has been protected well, and they're running the ball effectively. Yes, indeed, bro. I thought we should have got a little bit more against this. This Giant team was not very good statistically against the run, but they actually did a really good job against us. You know, if you think about it, like they were considered one of, not the worst, because we know we went up against the Bills and their run defense was the absolute worst. But actually, the Bills were, up there at the stink factory too. But you look how the Saints, we weren't able to get the kind of running attack that we really wanted to get off against them. Like we put up a buck 89 against the Bills. And we thought that we could possibly do that against the Giants. Giants says, I ain't gonna let you do that to us. We got pride about ourselves. But that's the thing. Returning back to the running attack, the balance and getting downfield. I think the explosive plays on their way, them wins really help, man. Like I said, we got to do a little better. We had 88 yards this game, but building on it, just building and stacking, man. That's what we got to do. Win, learn and win. Learn and win. That's what we need to do and keep doing it. Derek says, Aaron Brooks came to Green Bay, Breeze to San Diego. Y'all talking. That said the goals to show you how awful they have been in drafting. Yeah. You're talking about the first Saints drafted quarterback to get a win was in all that time since 1998 was Spencer Rattler. Since 98, family. All the people drafted, we talking about Grayson, Ian Book. I mean, boy, we had some quarterbacks like, we took the last 3 years we drafted. I mean, but they've had some quarterbacks the Saints have taken over time. But that stat right there, I was like, man, that's crazy work. That's the craziest stat of the week, in my opinion. That the first Saints, well, I ain't gonna say this is Spencer's the first quarterback since 1998, the first Saints drafted quarterback since 1998 to win a game for him. Drafted quarterback. That is crazy. And Mickey Lumen need to be kicked all up in his ass for that. It'd take a foot to make it backside, man, for that terrible stat. Good Lord. That's horrible. KT, shout out to you, says 7 catches, 59 yards. I bet y'all anything alive he's going to want. A little stat packing right there. But hey, man, he's wherever they throwing him to, KT, he catching them. You see, it's this intermediate stuff. Wherever he's throwing Olave's the ball, he's catching the ball. Intermediate stuff close to the sideline while he got, you see what I'm saying? He's catching the football, and it's, we got to get him upfield because he can run too, but we got to get him upfield. We got to stretch that field. Hakeem says it's not going to be a lit 300-yard playing because of the balance offensive structure in fact, it's a league-wide thing. All right. Thank you, brother Hakeem. All right, much love. All right, brother Derek says DeMario hit like a girl. Now we need to he did good. No, don't do that to DeMario, bro. DeMario getting old, but he can still play, bro. He can still play. He ain't as he athletically, vertically in terms of him, moving around. He can't go. He ain't got the speed he used to have. But like I said, he missed a lot of tackles. It was one game where I seen him on the same drive miss 3 tackles. He missed 3 tackles on the same drive. I was like, what's wrong with DeMario Davis? What's going on here? I mean, he gets there. It's like they called the play. He gets there and he can't make the tackle. Like one drive, he missed like 3 tackles. It was during the Buffalo game. One drive, like, damn, how you miss 3? But yeah, man, it's what it is. Is 504 says, can somebody put a APB out on Brandon? Because he's out there, bro. He's out there. He made a couple of catches and all this kind of stuff, but This is supposed to be the fast offense, but it's like we more east to west than north to south. We need to turn it up. We need to go north to south with this offense. That's what we need to do. We east west. We east westing them too much. You got guys in intermediates with crossers and slants and all this. We need to get vertical more, man. And I don't think we're going to be able to do that unless we can be able to start effectively running the ball. So there you go. We got to effectively start running the ball so we can get up there, because ain't no need for them to be worrying about stopping you from running the ball. If they putting 4 guys up there and occasionally puts a 5 guy there and they dropping everybody back and keeping you out, keeping you, up front here to work the center, they ain't scared of you running the ball. We're not putting the fear in anybody, because we simply not run. We're not running the ball outside of the Buffalo game. We're not consistently running the ball where we're scaring anybody. And until we get there, I think, we might be limited with that. So we got to work that up front. We got to get the ball going, man. I guarantee you, fam. I guarantee you that. Like Justin Wilson used to say, I guarantee that once you start running that football, man, that safety dropping down there, and it's one-on-one city the whole damn way. It's as easy as night and day. If you can't stop them from running the ball, they're going to send They're going to send extra help down there. And then that's when we're going to get those matchups. So we'll see how it all works, man. We'll be all right. We got no choice. Gundam says, I thought Divine Gacho would be the X Factor. Is unimpressive and ineffective. Yeah, he is. He ain't looking too good, man, right now. And Nate Shepard's another dude. You talking about Divine Gacho if he ain't looking that good, because you watch the film, he's getting double teamed down. I just thought we should have switched up on Shepard. If I had my choice to keep either Bank or Shepard, I would have kept Bank. I thought Shepard should have. I thought he should have been on the first thing smoking. I thought Big Bink Saunders is better than Nate Shepard. I guess they got better trade value on Bink than they did Shepard, but I thought he was supposed to be going. I thought we was bringing these other guys in here to giving them an opportunity to play. I thought that's why we traded multiple picks for when we got it back, when we traded to get John Ridgeway III, this big old 6'5", 300-pound plus guy. He was hurt. I think he made it back. He was inactive this past game. But you do have help. Christian Boyd is ready. He's been doing some positive stuff. Jonathan Bullett's been out there. You've seen Jonathan Bullett. We know Vernon Brockton's hurt. But we need to see something. We need to see somebody else out there doing stuff. We got guys, I don't know, they might have to shake it up, do something different. But we can't keep having them run on us like this. Indeed. All right, Willie says put Charlie Smith out there. I don't think Charlie Smith can kick the hell out of the ball, but I don't think he'll beat Blake Grupe in the kicking contest. 504 Coach says O-line looks completely different without Cesar Ruiz. Yeah, Cesar was Bob and others consider him the weak link. He's incredibly inconsistent with a lot of his stuff. And you see Torricelli Simpkins in there. He made some mistakes, but it's forgivable stuff because he's an undrafted rookie. But you can see the potentials there because he's actually, you can see him really putting a full out effort. I think people are less patient with Cesar Ruiz because he's been here for 6 years or whatever it is. And he's played a lot of games. He's played a lot of reps for the Saints in live games. And he's supposed to be a lot better than what he is. And people saying he's regressing. I'm like, he ain't regressing. That is who he is. You ain't been paying attention to him. You just hadn't paid attention to him. Right? All right, Gundam says, won't happen this year, Q. Saints org doesn't move with a purpose, operational priorities, and addressing personnel, not cutting it. Thank you, bro. Shout out to you as well. All right. What's up, GM Kev? Shout out to my brother, GM Kev. All right. Yes, indeed. Saints Doug says, if a field goal cab win the game, win the game, I'm comfortable with Group A being the guy. Thank you, bro. Hakeem says, got to keep Drake May inside the pocket this week. Bracket Stephon Diggs, yes, somehow contains Stevenson and Henderson in the run game. Patriots offense is sneaky good. They got players. I think they needed somebody that was competent right there because they have some players, man. They didn't draft terribly. They just, they just needed leadership at the top. And you got the guy that used to be the head coach of where he came from, Tennessee. He's there now. Was a great linebacker for the Patriots too. So this is a guy that comes back here. He knows the Patriot way, so to speak. He's respected there, and he knows football. So the man he got a good running attack there. He got some weapons around there, and yeah, the Patriots are feeling pretty good about themselves. They knocked off the Buffalo Bills. Fam, that's a big win for them. They beat them by 3, but that's a big win for the New England Patriots in the NFC East. That's a big win for them. So they're really feeling pretty good about getting that win, man. They really are. So yeah, they're coming here in the Dome. The Saints are going to have another one of those defensive performances where we have to kind of force the turnovers. We're going to have to actually get to Drake May and make some plays, but we'll talk about all that in the preview later on in the week. But yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. Hemisphere says Q. I heard a content creator says Kellen Moore wakes up late to get in the building during the Seahawk week. Kellen took the team on the boat ride. And Kellen's still young, man. Yeah, he's still gelling with his team, man. And he's young. He's just having fun with it. And he ain't one of these guys, that beat you to death with football. He wanted to teach you some football. Yeah, play football. But when we're not talking about football, let's go out and fish. Let's go out and go eat at the restaurant. Let's go shoot some hoops, stuff like that. He knows he's a football coach, but he's also a person too. He don't bludgeon you or beat you to death with football, right? He teach you the game, but then have time to do other stuff, team building, exercise outside of just the football stuff, which is commendable. We'll see if it works. It must have worked. It didn't work for the Seattle game, but but it did help to get the win against the Giants, right? They were really happy to give him that game ball. You can see they were really happy to see him get his first win. St. Doug said, "Oh Lord, don't mention Jared Cook." Oh no, don't let him talk about Jared Cook. Yeah, all right. Five of course says time for DeMario to open up his church Q football career done. Yeah, DeMario. He intelligence wise is very good, but he's old. This is his last year, and he's not as fast as he used to be. You can see on film that he sees stuff, and you can see him on film like he'll see the opening and the running back, like he'll see it and he'll shoot the gap. He'll get there and miss the play, And as he's gotten over the last couple of years, he's been missing tackles. But when you're losing and you're 0-4, you want to see on that third down, that guy makes that tackle. You got to make that third down tackle, and it's just one of those things, man, where those things stick out more glaringly when you don't have a win, People are less forgiving for you. If you're out there losing, you're 0-4 and you're missing tackles. They're not going to be very happy with you, and they shouldn't. All right, Gundam says aging body Q. DeMario starting to feel that. Yeah, but that is still a testament to his conditioning, because he's gotten this whole way before we really start seeing it. And it took a defensive shift because the defense is designed in Staley's mind to be a faster defense. We got guys that's not that athletically gifted. Some of the backup guys are better athletes than our starters. But, guys like Jalen Ford and Isaiah Stallworth, those guys are there athletically speaking. So, one can only imagine how it looks as we get further into the season, how that effect will even have any, roll out over DeMario and Pete Werner. Those, and Pete's younger, but he's a guy that's been staying healthy as of late, as opposed to what we remember. KT says Q 5 weeks of nursing a calf. KT going to Chase. Can you call a spade and admit Chase Young got Mickey out of 51 mil? He's just Jadeveon Clowney 2.0. Just saying. Yeah, bro. We need a pass rush. We definitely need. Now, I don't know. We have a couple of days before we get the Wednesday report. I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was before the Seattle game. What? No. It was before the Buffalo game. where we were told that Chase Young is coming back soon, or they used the term soon, quotation soon, end quote, so okay, I was like, soon, okay, if that was 2 weeks, 2 games ago, where is Granderson now? I mean, I'm sorry, not Granderson, Chase Young, because Curl out there busting his ass. Curl got 4.5 right now. Should have been 5.5 and leading the league. But yeah, Chase Young is the calf issue was said. Kellen was on some DA type stuff. He was like, hey man, it ain't nothing to worry about. But the guy done missed all this time. I mean, we're going into week number 6. Hell, Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau came back, and Chase Young is still unavailable. Yeah, that right now that 51 ain't looking too good, bro. That 51 ain't looking too good. We really need Chase Young to be active for this game against the New England Patriots. We could utilize his pass rush. We really need that extra pass rush. So, KT, you ain't saying nothing wrong, bro, to be honest with you. What's up, Jamaica? Shout out to Jamaica. All right, what's up, Brent? Shout out to Brent. He says, with some garlic and onion. Yeah. Yeah, you talk about, Justin. Yeah, Justin Wilson. Yeah, I guarantee you. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
I'm gonna say thank you very much. Picking me up, taking me back, and then come on now, dog. Come on, man. The problem is you trying to talk with your shit and you don't know nothing instead of listening. Huh?
I'm listening.
Okay? No. I get $40,000, nigga, and I dare motherfucker to
All right, shout out to you, Brent, man. Thank you for that, man. Much love. Yeah, man, we got some stuff, man, that's going on, but it's very positive, man, for the Who Dat Nation, man. So yeah, Chase Young is I don't know what's going on, fam. The soon thing was thrown at us. We'll see where that ends up going as we get closer and closer. I'm very interested to look at that Wednesday report to see if Chase Young is active and practicing and not DMP'd again. Because you could have put his ass on. I mean, you could have literally put him on the IR. You could have placed him on IR and literally opened up a spot and found. Put it back. It'd be 6 weeks. 6 weeks since that guy did anything. 6 weeks. That's crazy that this guy I'm like, what kind of calf is this that keeps you out? Listen, fam. There's no practicing with it. He's not allowed to practice with this calf issue, but they're telling us it's nothing. How you have a calf issue? How you had that going on? How you got a calf issue that ain't no big problem, but you won't let him practice, and he been DMP'd for going on 6 weeks now? I don't know. $51 million for a guy that ain't seen nothing in the regular season, and you need a pass rush bad. So yeah, it would. I guess it wouldn't be so bad if we were, in this situation where we need that help right away. But yeah, Rumpf the second ain't doing. Cam is doing the best that he can do. But yeah, Chase Young got the money. Chase is the guy that's supposed to be represent opposite of Carl Granderson. It's supposed to be that tandem. But man, yeah, I got to give it to you, fam. You KT's right on the money, man. KT's right. Yeah, he's right. He also says, is he who he is? You'll do it for Caesar salad, but you acknowledge it for Now I'm saying I just said it, KT. I'm just saying I gave it to you, KT. I says, listen, you're right on it. The $51 million is not looking good, and yeah, for Chase Young, but Chase Young his stuff was a lot more positive last year than what we've seen from Cesar Ruiz. I've been talking about Cesar Ruiz. It's not hard to tell. People have not been paying attention to Cesar Ruiz because they were looking at Penning. And Penning was so bad, he made Cesar Ruiz look good, but Penning improved to a point where it's Cesar you're looking at now. But I've been saying that about. I'm not like Cesar Ruiz he ain't good. You'll see him do some positive stuff, but he is woefully inconsistent with his technique. You know, I'm like, how is this guy? And it's only so long you can sit up here and play like you don't see him on that film, Coach Moore. You don't see him now because Torricelli Simpkins is out there. Simpkins is going to make it to keep you honest. He's going to keep you honest. All right. Ray Lynn Mann says, if the mainstream media glazes Drake May and questions the Saints D the same way they glaze Jason Dart, we win off a coincidence. They did. Yeah, man. You know what, man? You talk about the commentators, man. Bro, it's a love fest. It's like the Saints are not going to win. We're that bad. At the Giants, I ain't want to bring the Giants man back. Man, I don't want the man. You know, he suffered enough watching the Saints kick his team in the teeth and have them to have 5 straight fumbles. You know, New Yorkers, man, they're real sensitive about that stuff. Yeah, I would be a gentleman about it. Yeah, I'll just take the win. You know, the loss did hit him harder than anything any one of you could tell him. Hey, I just say, hey, man, y'all seen I played it cool. I just say, hey, man, you know, the Giants they're more talented. I'm saying, no, I'm like, no, they're not. No, you're not. You're not more talented here. You got 2 rookie players at key positions. Yeah, even though Jackson is very talented, we know Jackson Dart for Ole Miss. I knew how good the guy is. He's going to be good for them in the future. I know about scouted Cam Scatterbo. KT, you know about Scatterbo. We talked about him. He's one of our favorite young running backs among the other ones coming out of there. So we knew what Scatterbo and Jackson Dart was about. But they're still inexperienced players. Spencer Rattler been in the league a whole year. That has to he started several games. That has to count for something. And he has actually been doing a very above decent. You got to give him. He's been doing a good job. We have to get upfield, you know. And I got a concern. Let me share this with y'all, man. I got a concern. Like I said, toward the back end, people like they just, you know, people start just like Q. We got the W. I get it. People's like, put W in the chat because Q don't see it. It just put everybody just start putting win in the chat. Hey, that's how y'all do me. That's how I'm talking some real shit on here. I got some real concerns and ain't nobody wanted to hear it. And I'm trying to tell people, hey fam, at the back of the game, but people so wind starved that they didn't want to hear that. Fam, I'm on the broadcast Sunday, the Saints game, and at the back end of the game, man, I'm saying, hold on here, man. Oh man, y'all see this here? And I started telling about them because they started mixing. Because Taysom Hill came in there, right? He threw the pass for 9 yards, 19 yards, whatever it was to Juwan Johnson. It was kind of low. Juwan had to go down to get it to make the catch. But then you started to see on the back end that Coach Moore started to run Taysom in there, you know, in the game and cycle Spencer Rattler out the game. And then it was a point where Spencer was went in the game and then he did this with his hands. He's like, what we doing? What we doing? So now I was like, what's going on here? And they started really cycling Taysom in to do all this other stuff. I'm like, damn, Taysom just came back. You know, what did we? But I was like, I had this concern. I was like, right now, oh man, he about to start jacking stuff up. We can't, I don't want to use Taysom Hill as a quarterback. I mean, like that. Taysom's so talented. We don't have to use him as a quarterback because I don't want to jack up the chemistry that Spencer Rattler is having with his offense. I don't want to jack that up. You know, I didn't want to jack it up. I was like, hey man, use Taysom in harmony with Spencer. Make him a tight end, make him a wide receiver, make him a running back, this sort of thing. But don't pull Spencer out to put Taysom in. Spencer out to put Taysom Hill in as a quarterback is what I'm saying this early. I don't want to mess up all of the weeks of them with all of the losses and the chemistry that they were supposed to be building on to be sacrificed or messed with because, you know, you moving the quarterback in and out of the game. I did not want to see that. And then when I started saying that, they ain't won't hear that shit. And I told her, I said, hey, y'all ass, don't detail it. I don't want to hear it next week. They'll be saying the same damn thing to me. Well, goddamn, Q, why they doing this? Well, I said, hey man, I try to tell y'all, man. Y'all, people were so win starved. They were like, I don't give a damn. We gotta win. Oh, okay. All right, goddamn it. All right, you got it then. There you go. Hey, you won't hear that shit, man. I said, okay. It's all good, fam. Y'all got it. KT says, Q, that sounds like Achilles more than a calf. Remember, that's what happened with Kevin Durant. It says, yeah. Oh man, please no. But it's been 6 weeks, so we got to do something. Derek says Penning was out of position. That's true, Derek. He says Penning was out of position. Ruiz out of position too. Q, he really a center play. Nah, bro, you can't say that about him now, bro. No, brother Derek. How long that was what? They drafted him 6 years ago. How old is Cesar Ruiz? How long has he been in the league? About 5 or 6 years? He's 26 years old. He was drafted what? In 2020. He been in the league for 5 years. Okay, so yeah, he been in the league for 5 years already. So he was a 24th overall pick out of Michigan back in 2020. Cesar Ruiz. The first year, yes, indeed. The first or even the second year, you could say that. But the Saints did not switch him consistently between two positions. They did not cross-train Cesar Ruiz. They didn't do that. They made Cesar Ruiz a guard. And I often wondered why they didn't cross-train and allow him to play center. I thought he would probably be a better center than he is a guard. But that was some time ago. The first couple of years, you give him grace. But we into what? Year 5 of him with all of the reps at the guard position. He's not no center anymore. He's a bona fide guard now. I mean, he got all the reps and all the stuff. So that's what I'm saying, man. But there is no excuse for bad technique. You know, I wish Trevor Penning had as many reps as Cesar Ruiz. I wish Trevor Penning had as many reps in games experience as Cesar Ruiz has. I wish. Because I think Penning would probably be I know Penning would be further along if that was the case. L-Dub says, that's why I turned down the volume and let you commentate. Yes, as the man says, a glaze fest when you listen to all of them talk about it. They're going to do it again. They just act like the Saints don't have any players. Brian says Chase has a different type of calf injury. That's why he's out so long. Nobody thought the injury was this bad. Well, the coach said that he'll be back soon. But I ask you, who knows more about the player than the coach? Because the coach has access to the player's medicals. They got access to all the medicals. The doctors know exactly how long the time frame will be for this type of injury. They have all the information. They could play dumb with us, but they got a medical staff in there. They know exactly what's wrong with it. If they got a player that's hurt, they know exactly what's wrong with them. They have timelines, all that stuff already, but it's just how they want to handle it to you and tell you, because they know that if they tell you the truth about Chase Young, they're going to get bad press because of the money that they paid him. So they underselling this stuff not to make a certain individual who likes to chew and smack damn gum look bad. See how that PR work? Like, man, don't say nothing about it. Just say coming back soon. 2 weeks ago. For a calf issue that was what Kellen said wasn't bad. Nothing to be concerned about. So, I mean, you know how it goes. All right. Derek says Spencer with a nice catchback and throwaway. Yeah. 504 says Q, this is really our first win. Yeah, it's it. That's right. Yeah. And the craze, like I said, I was thinking about it till I went and looked it up. And even the article I just talked about said the same thing, that the last time the Saints won a game was last year against the Giants, the same team they won yesterday against. I think that's really funny. The last team we beat last year was the Giants. I think we beat them 14-11 or something like that last week. Wasn't that the game where Derek Carr jumped up and smacked and tackled the concrete with his face? Wasn't that the game when he got hurt? Hold on, let me see. Y'all remind me in the chat. Wasn't the Giants game when Derek Carr got hurt? When he went face first into the turf? I want to say that was that the same game? Did he get hurt against the Giants last week? I mean, last year, was that the same game? Yeah, that was. I want to. What wasn't that the same one? I don't know. Y'all remind me. I don't know. It might not be the same one. Was that the same one with Carr? The Carr got hurt. Wasn't it that the game he jumped over? I want to say it was the Giants. Wasn't it the Giants game? Yeah, it was the Giants game. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember. Yep, it was the Giants. Yeah, it is right here. I was thinking, I was like, man, wasn't that the Giants? Yeah, look, see? Yeah, there you go. He tried to jump over his player. Y'all remember it went right into the ground like that? Yeah. Yeah, that was it. But that was the game that the last time the Saints won a game was against the Giants last year, and then we beat them yesterday. That is really crazy. That's fun. That is wild and wacky. All right. Derek says, I made 32 last time we won. We won 33 a month away from me. Okay. Thank you, bro. Shout out. Happy birthday to you, bro. All right. Pops TG says, my thing is I don't pull our starting 3 wide receivers out to run the ball with Taysom every time, telegraphing the play. That's what the Giants, that's what the guest we had Saturday who represented the Giants, he said, man, I'm with Taysom, he'll come out there. We just know that Taysom's going to get the ball. We just pay attention to him. I was like, yeah, it's pretty much because it's pretty simple if you think about it. If Taysom's out, he's going to get the ball. But the other thing is you got to tackle him. Because everybody know, like when we put Taysom Hill on some of those plays, the majority of the time he's running into a stacked box in some kind of way. He still gets a first down and 3 or 4 yards in some kind of way. So knowing what he's going to do and is one thing versus stopping him, so it was kind of weird at the end of the game. So I just hope what I said about him pulling Spencer in and out of the game with Taysom won't disrupt the offense. I hope not, man. Brent says Taysom should be tight end with other options. I agree 100%.
Say thank you very much. Picking me up, taking me back to this world.
Appreciate you, Brent. Thank you, man. All right, Justin says, my main concern is how long is KM going to stay with Group A at kicker? Eventually, you got to remove the C off his chest and cut your losses. Yeah, that's a good question, bro. Good comment, by the way. He's missed 5 kicks so far. He's 10 of 15 right now. It has to be a concern for you. But it's like, if you think about it, the way the coaches could be looking at it is the fact that he's looking at the entire unit is struggling, right? That could be a thing too. Like it's not like everybody else is doing good. And he's the sore guy. He's the other guy out there that's just looking like, he looks stink, The whole special team side of things looks stink right now. The coverage units look stink. The kick return units look stink. The punt return units are not all that. We can't, flip the field. We can't do anything to help us right there. The punting is probably the better of the things we got going, even though Kai had that awful punt in the fourth quarter. But outside of it, he's been actually pretty respectable. But yeah, 10 to 15 through 5 weeks, you missed 5 field goals in 5 weeks is not a good thing. And like I said, he's not kicking 50. He had the 50-yarder, but he's not. Some of these ones that he's missed were ones that he could have hit. He's an NFL kicker. I expect what would be respectable to you guys if he kicked 15 kicks. How many kicks should you would grant him to have missed at this point, like through 5 games? Like 3 kicks? Would that be enough? You put it in the chat. Let me know what would be sufficient for you. Not saying the guy got to be 15 for 15, but to you with 15, attempts, how many of the 15 that you would feel would be respectable? 5 is too much. I say 3. I would say at least 3, missed field goals. What do you guys say? Put it in the chat. I'll spotlight it. L-Dub says, I remember you saying that, Q. I was wondering why Moore was doing that. I'm shocked the reporters didn't ask him about it during the presser. I think they was just letting him have his moment. But I'm saying at the end of the day, man, I was saying it, and it wasn't like I was saying something and I was like, oh, that'll be all. When I seen it, I was like, because it presents another problem that I didn't anticipate. I didn't see Kellen Moore attempting to use Taysom Hill as a fill-in quarterback for Spencer Rattler, meaning pulling him out of the game. No, I'm against that. I'm against you pulling Spencer Rattler out of the game. Why? Because Spencer Rattler has to stay in there as the starting quarterback so he can continue to have the momentum, not just the momentum, but the chemistry, the synergy that he needs with these guys. We still need to build on that chemistry, and pulling him in and out of the game sacrifices that. They're not I don't want to say they're not intelligent enough to do it, but they're not talented enough to do that. Insofar as like knowing, we could do it and we can bounce back and forth between two and have the success. They're not nowhere near that. So whatever you have Taysom Hill doing, it has to be in help, or it has to be in harmony with Spencer Rattler. Meaning I don't pull Spencer out. If I want Taysom Hill to be in there, to be a running back, let him be a damn running back. I'm for, and then of course, the thing about it is, if I need 1 yard, snapping the ball 5 yards back to get 1 yard, I've been against that. If we're going to do the damn thing, just line him up as a fullback. It ain't like we didn't see Taysom play fullback before. He played fullback, tight end, wide receiver. Occasionally you can have him to throw the ball, like, with Taysom, you see the play where you just snap the ball, he throws it to Taysom. Taysom pretends like he's going to run around the edge and then pulls up and throw the ball down the damn field to the wide receiver. Yeah, I'm for that. But we're not nowhere near the synergy that we need to be for you to be bouncing Taysom and Spencer back and forth. I try to warn people about that during the game. I was like, man, because if you remember the play, we were so happy with the win. I'm telling y'all on the back end of that game that the offense looked totally discombobulated. They couldn't even do nothing. They totally, talking about somebody going backwards. They literally died on the back of that game. We were looking at the defense and we were psyched up on the momentum of the defense, the 5 turnovers, the return for a touchdown, all this kind of stuff. But the offense, man, outside of the 87-yarder that they gave with Rashid Shaheed toward the back of the game, they literally just died. And I was like, man, I don't like it. But, but my thing is, I can enjoy the win and still be able to, in my head, like a coach looking ahead saying, hey, man, we got to do something about that, because that'll kind of hurt us in the next week. Like, I can celebrate the win, but still understand we got to fix this if we're going to get another one next week, that sort of thing. Right. All right. Yeah. I just let y'all know what I see. That's all I could do. All right. Anyway, big ups to y'all, man. What's up, Rudy? Shout out to Rudy, man. Good to see you in the chat, man. All right. Anyway, man, let me get rid of Kate. What's up, JT? JT says these players have their contracts written a certain way after the injuries. I don't know if that's on. I don't know if it's on Chase. Because remember, Chase stayed. His thing was last year. They didn't trust him last year, but he played last year, got the money, and then bam, miss 5 weeks. And we need him. We need Chase Young. There's no other pass rusher that we have currently on the team that is more impactful than Chase Young. I mean, he's got the money. He's got to be the guy that works opposite of Curl. Curl needs help. And, we see Cam out there doing everything he could do. But Cam is similar to DeMario Davis. You see Cam running around, athletic quarterbacks just run right away from him like they got a jetpack. He's trying. Cam is trying to get there. He's just not. He's not that guy anymore. Cam is not that guy. He's a lot older than that. That's the thing about having older players. They're smart, but sometimes they don't get home. You need the athlete there. We need the athlete. All right, there we go. All right. What's up, Sean? Shout out to Sean. Said the league average field percentage is about 85%. I expect Group A to make at least 12 out of 15. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. And a lot of family members believe. Derek says 3. I say 3, bro. I would say 3. Slim he's a little more on it. He says 2. So does L Dub and Saint Doug. They believe 2. Derek says 12 or 15. 12 or 15 would be so it'll be 3 that he would at this point be missing 3 of them. But 5 field goals, that averages out as 1 a week. That is far too much. And at some point, if he keeps doing that, man, listen, you might have to do something. And like I said, bro, remember they had Young Wei Koo. Young Wei Koo is a hell of a kicker. But the Falcons did not play with him. This guy kicked them into win after win after win. But boy, when he started missing them field goals, they forgot about all that shit. All that matter, they on that Janet Jackson shit. Whatever you done for me lately. That's what they did. That what they own over there. And we own that too. The entire NFL is on that too. So he can't be, man, listen, ain't no more missing no field goals and all this kind of stuff. You gonna have to look at him and be like, yo, bro, listen. Even if you won't scare him a little bit. Even if if I'm Kellen Moore, you miss another field goal or 2 more or 1 more or whatever. I'm bringing in the kicker. Like I would have said last week or the week before that when he missed him, I would have brung in somebody to try out. I would have tried out 2 or 3 kickers. And of course the Saints do have Charlie Smith on the practice squad. They have that kicker there. They of course they can go to him if they want to. But even if you're doing a tryout, I would have brought in a couple of kickers to kick psychologically just to be like, oh shit, I got to get this straight. I better get out here and make it happen. They're looking at kickers just to get that going. You see, that's a part of that accountability thing. You don't have to say nothing to the kicker because you can't. You have to encourage the kickers because a lot of this stuff is mental. You don't go up there and say, man, what the hell wrong with you? Get your, this kind of thing. You can't go at them like that. You gotta get them. You see, you can't go and cuss at them and finger wag at them like Rizzy did that other guy last year when he cussed at that guy. You got to baby the punters and baby the kickers. That's how they deal with it. You can't fuss and cuss at the kicker and the punter. Their game is up here. But what you could do is bring in some kickers to try out. That's how you do that shit. You got to play the game. You got to bring. We got 3 kickers in here. Trey got Young Wei Koo up in here. He up in here kicking, trying out. We got this other guy here. We trying out John Carney. He out there kicking. You probably not gonna sign none of them, but they out there trying out. That's how you get them. At some point, you got to do that, man. At some point, if you keep missing them, that's too many, man. All right, KT says, Q, all Chase Young does is get pressures, but he's never been a double-digit sack guy. You're right, KT. Historically speaking, you're correct. And depending on when he comes back this year, you might be right about that again. There's still a lot of football left. Like I said, man, it's not looking good right now. It's not looking good right now because we need whatever production he can bring. And even if he's healthy enough to go, this week, do they handle him with kid gloves? You don't want them to let him go full, all this kind of stuff, because we simply not getting the pass rush. Chris Fromm, for whoever we want to throw that cam, we're not getting the rush that we need, right? So at some point, we got to do something about it, right? We got to. We got to do something about it. L-Dub says it was a curse for the Saints. They got in the Young Wei Koo. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When the Falcons put him in the street, then that should put like Group A's like, man, this dude here is like 3 times better than me. And they didn't play around with him. When you start missing those field goals, man, especially if you're missing field goals that decide the fate of the game. See, we haven't quite gotten there yet, right? We have not quite gotten there yet because we've seen the Chris Olave drop. We've seen the Jawan Johnson touchdown drops, right? But we haven't quite gotten there yet where you see a Blake Group A missed field goal that can ultimately decide the fate of the game. We haven't got there yet. We haven't gotten there yet. So we're going to see, man. I think he's going to be patient with them. But, boy, I tell you, you keep missing them field goals, you're going to find yourself unemployed real quick. It's one of them positions that you won't be up there for long if you're missing them damn field goals. I promise you that. All right. Anyway, fam, listen, I'm going to get ready to get out on that. Y'all do me a service, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Saints Monday after. The first win of the season, man. We within that celebratory period in which we are basking in the glow of being 1-4. How that sound? 1-4. I know it sounds a little strange, but it don't sound stranger than 0-5. How about that shit? I know 0-5. Could you imagine what this Monday would have been feeling like for you? You know, somebody pissed you off. The Red Beans, they be wearing a Red Beans hat right now. You know, this kind of thing. But you're 1-4, which means it's time to build forward. The Saints got the Patriots coming in. We got to keep on moving ahead, man, and keep fixing this stuff and putting wins together and stacking and stacking and stacking. Win and learn. That's the thing. All right. Anyway, man, let me get on out of here. I'll be back tomorrow for our Patreon family members. Going to do some film work on the Giants, Saints and Giants Week 5 matchup. We'll cover all the latest news and notes. And man, listen, yeah, I heard about a lot of the trade stuff that they're hearing about the Alvin Kamara and all this kind of stuff. That's something that you regularly hear when teams are 0-5, 0-4, this type of thing, because, you know, they start kind of selling out the pieces and seeing if they can get this, that, and the third. But the Saints putting together wins, man, that kind of scave off a lot of that trade talk. It kind of gets it away. So we just got to keep stacking them. We have the next 3 games is actually, you know, I ain't gonna say they're winnable games because the Patriots are actually playing some respectable football. But the Saints have, if they can do what they've been doing, man, fighting in that offense, some kind of way finds a way to incorporate Taysom Hill where it doesn't take Spencer out of it, then we can be able to kind of be more balanced, man. I think we can do that because you have Taysom there and Foster Moreau, not to mention him coming back. That improves our tight end room. You know, we have experience there, but we have a guy like Taysom when he can move around in junction with Kendre Miller and Elvin and the rest of our weapons, man. We doing all right. We just got to keep on moving and grooving, baby. Yeah, the Ravens 1-4 too. Yeah, but hey, man, they all bang the hell, man. I would rather my 1-4 Saints to be the 1-4 Ravens. The Ravens beat up the hell. Lamar ain't there. They got like 8 or 9 people that means something to that team that's missing, man. The Saints are healthy. Fam, listen, we're healthy. We got our quarterback, our wide receivers are healthy, our running backs are healthy. You know, we might have a few people hurting, like we got Cesar Ruiz, but the backup's better than him. You know, we got that going on. We got a little struggling in our special teams, but we can eventually fix that. You know, we got a little something going on with our defense. We got a lot of young people that are stepping up. So we knew that was going to happen anyway, didn't we? You know, with some of those guys. But in the end, I'm saying that we're in a lot better shape than some of these other people. These other people are beat the hell up. You know, so I'm really happy we are, in terms of our health, is pretty good. You know, we are all right. We just need to keep, you know, putting together some solid efforts and, you know, handling our business, man, and keep that health there. And yeah, man, it's just, I'd rather be the Saints 1-4 than the Ravens 1-4 any day, man. They are banged up pretty bad. All right, I'm up out of here, fam. Appreciate y'all.